What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm here today to give you guys a review of the Adidas Crazy One or the Kobe in the original Stormtrooper or white and black colorway. Today's video is sponsored by Heffelux. Heffelux is my all-time favorite sneaker insoles, and they sell eTPU insoles, which really is the same material you'll find inside Adidas Boost. So if you're looking to add some additional comfort inside your shoes, be sure to check out their website, which I've linked down below in the description box. You'll see they sell a variety of different insoles, so depending on the type of insole density and the cushioning setup you're looking for, you're going to find there's a suitable pair for anyone. So I've been a paying customer of Heffelux for years now, and to me, I personally find them to be extremely comfortable. So if you guys want to check them out and try a pair for yourself, be sure to use the code BOO, that's BOO at checkout, and get 33% off your entire purchase. So before the late Kobe Bryant started his legendary signature line with Nike, fresh out of high school, he actually first signed with Adidas. And his second last signature shoe, which is the one that he wore en route to his very first NBA championship in 2000, was this one right here, called originally the Kobe, but subsequently renamed to be called the Crazy One. So this Stormtrooper colorway originally dropped back in 2000, and they retroed once again earlier this year, and they landed here in Canada over at Off the Hook, which is a Montreal-based sneaker boutique, which is where I managed to grab this pair. So these retailed, I believe, for a price of 120 US dollars. Please correct me if I'm wrong there, but they definitely retailed for 200 Canadian dollars north of the border. And I vividly remembered when these released. I remember the commercials, and I remember thinking this shoe is just so strange and it's just so unique. In fact, the design of the shoe drew inspiration from the Audi TT Roadster, and in hand it almost feels like Adidas's take on a Nike Foamposite. And because I've never owned a pair of these ever in my life, when I saw that my size was available, I didn't hesitate for a second and I had to pick these up just to see how they were. So taking a deep dive into the details, the upper of the shoe, this is constructed out of a molded synthetic material, which like I mentioned before, almost feels like Nike's Foamposite. So it has a very stiff and blocky feel to it, and we have a lot of sharp angles on the sneaker. On the mid panel of both sides of the shoe, we have the Adidas 3 stripes, which are indented onto the synthetic material. And then on the front toe cap, we have this gray colored TPU overlay, which pays homage to the classic Adidas shell toe, but unlike the original version, for this retro take, this gray overlay cuts directly across the front toe box. On the back of the shoe, we have this black colored TPU heel clip, which helps to give you additional structure and support for the back end of the shoe. And then we have the Adidas logo, along with this horizontal translucent hit running across. As for the laces, so these come with these oval shaped laces, which I found to run very, very long. But a cool feature about these laces are that they actually transition from white on the bottom to black on the top, blending in perfectly with the tongue underneath. So the bottom half of the tongue, this white portion, this is constructed out of that synthetic white material that the sides of the shoe are constructed in, but the top of the tongue is constructed out of a black colored mesh, and pressed onto the middle we have the Adidas logo in black. As for the interior liner of this shoe, you'll see that it's actually double lined. So we have this exterior flap, which is where the body of the shoe is, and then there's a secondary layer underneath that's very, very well padded. On the interior, this is lined in this synthetic black leather, and then as for the insoles, these come with their standard foam line insole. It's covered in this black colored textile on top, and stamped on the heel, we have the Adidas logo in white. So the upper of the shoe sits atop this full-length injected EVA foam midsole. The midsole has a very clean and futuristic vibe to it, and in the middle you'll see we have this gray colored TPU overlay, which gives you some added stiffness and support around this midfoot area of the shoe. And then turning this pair over to the bottom, the outsole here is constructed out of a black colored rubber. We have this herringbone style traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, these 3 yellow dots on the forefoot, the Adidas logo on the forefoot as well, and in the middle, this yellow portion here, this is a torsion bar, which basically helps to give you additional stiffness and helps when you transition from heel to toe with that added midfoot support. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these Crazy Ones. And for those wondering about sizing, overall this is a pretty snug fitting shoe, so I feel like if you're going to be wearing these casually, and especially if you have wider feet, I'd definitely recommend going up a half size. So I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side. I got these in a size 10 not knowing any better, and they definitely fit me very snug straight out of the box. Maybe it's just a matter of breaking them in. Maybe if I wear them for a prolonged amount of time, they could possibly break in and fit better true to size, but as of right now, I definitely would have preferred going up a half size to a 10.5. Not only is this shoe quite snug from a width perspective, but I felt like it also ran pretty short as well. My left foot especially, that's my fatter foot, I could feel my toe pretty much touching the edge of the shoe, which felt honestly very uncomfortable. So unless you like a really snug one-to-one fit, then you should stick true to size, but for everyone else, if you like more of that relaxed fit, do yourself a favor and go up half a size. Moving on in terms of the comfort, so overall this isn't the most comfortable shoe out there. Again, maybe this is just because I haven't broken in the shoe and the upper is very stiff. So straight out of the box, this is not a very flexible shoe at all. However, the underfoot feeling wasn't bad. This full-length EVA foam midsole had a decent amount of responsiveness, and let's just say it's a bit softer underfoot than I originally anticipated. Still, I wouldn't really say that this is a comfortable shoe, and I personally wouldn't want to wear these if I know I'm going to be on my feet or walking for long distances within the day. Finally, in terms of the overall quality and craftsmanship. So first off, in terms of material quality, like I mentioned earlier, the majority of this shoe is made out of synthetic materials, so it's really hard to gauge the quality of those materials. There's no genuine leathers or anything like that on this pair, which I guess kind of makes sense considering this was supposed to be more of a futuristic shoe which came out back in 2000, but the materials on this shoe is definitely not its strong suit. However, from an overall build and craftsmanship standpoint, I really had no major issues at all with this pair. There were no visible glue stains, and the overall shape, the panels were pretty consistently sized, so at least from that standpoint I didn't really have any complaints. So with all that out of the way now, let me lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. The Kobe, or the Crazy One, is a very distinctly 2000s sort of design shoe. And because I grew up in that era, that's part of the reason why this shoe kind of interested me, and I was curious to see how these were in hand. But getting them in hand, and more specifically trying them on foot, I can say without a doubt that this is not really a sneaker for me. I think it looks a lot better on the shelf than it actually does on my feet, and one of the reasons for that is possibly because the shape of this shoe just doesn't really fit the shape of my foot. But your experience could be different, so let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about the Stormtrooper colorway in this Kobe or Crazy One shoe. What are your overall thoughts on the design? And for anyone watching, did you guys also grab a pair of these? Did you take an L, or did you just pass on them altogether? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, follow my Twitter at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.